My name's Robert Kelsey. I'm author of a book called What's Stopping You, a book on fear of failure and other insecurities that stop us making progress in our lives. One crucial aspect for dealing with fear of failure is to put failure in its place. Many people view a small and temporary setback as a final confirmation of their inabilities, as a major failure in other words, when in fact with some extra concentration and maybe a bit of learning, that setback could actually be something that works in their favour. In fact, nearly all successful people have had to experience failure somewhere along the line. They've had major setbacks that they've managed to overcome, learn the lesson and then move on from. Setbacks are only major failures if that's how we decide to interpret them. Setbacks can be embarrassing, they can be expensive, and they can dent our reputation, but they are only a condemnation of us if we decide they are so. Maybe it was just the wrong idea in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe, but not certainly, we can just start again, lesson learned, a little bruised, but on we go. Failure is never absolute. As long as a person breathes and is willing to act, then it is never final. So why do we fear it? Seeing failure this way is difficult for people with high fear of failure. They need tools to get them this far, and one tool is to depersonalize failure, to think of me Inc. or me Limited, to think of themselves as a company rather than an individual. They can then view their progress as a project, with its own ups and downs and ins and outs, but with a sustainable objective and an executable strategy. And failure, from a company perspective, is a transformed concept. Tom Peters, who wrote In Search of Excellence, is perhaps the best known company guru of all, and he said that failure is a vital part of a company's progress. You can't make progress without failure. Within In Search of Excellence, Tom Peters speaks to many CEOs of some huge American companies, and they all say the same thing, that you've got to be willing to fail, that failure is a vital part of success. You can't have success without first having perhaps many failures. So why can't we think about this as individuals as well as companies? In fact, we can. There are hundreds and hundreds of people out there who have been very successful, who love to talk about failure and love to talk about how often they've failed before they managed to succeed. There are hundreds of such quotes from all walks of life. Barack Obama: "The real test is not whether you avoid failure, because you won't. It's whether you let it harden or shame you into inaction, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere." All this from Robert Kennedy: "Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly." Or this from Sumner Redstone, the creator of MTV: "Success is not built on success, it's built on failure. It's built on frustration. Sometimes it's even built on catastrophe." Or this from basketball legend Michael Jordan: "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed." According to Tom Peters, failure is not the problem, far from it. We should encourage a culture of failure, not just small failures, but for Tom, he wants big failures, he wants embarrassing failures, he wants public failures. Only then can we really make progress. Perhaps the most famous quote at this point, everybody uses it, comes from Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb. He said, "I've not failed at all I've done is tried 10,000 ways that haven't worked." Or as Anthony Robbins states in Awaken the Giant Within, "There are no failures in life, there are only results. So if the results were not what you wanted, you need to learn the lessons, concentrate harder and make better decisions." Robbins says that failure for its own sake, while refreshing, is pointless. We need to move on from our mistakes, we need to learn the lessons and move forward. Or as Henry Ford said, "Failure is only the opportunity to more intelligently begin again." So we should embrace failure as part of the journey.